Sharks, some of evolution's most wild and wonderful creations. These apex predators are vital in maintaining the balance of ecosystems. But now, those very ecosystems and the sharks are under threat. Gaps in historically accumulated data on shark distribution and behavioural patterns means that we can't accurately assess the threat levels sharks face now. During my time delving into marine ecosystems and Fijian culture, I found that the ocean has strong cultural significance to Pacifica communities. In Fiji, coastal areas belong to the people. With no official governing body, any conservation efforts and shark monitoring programs need to have community at its centre. Therefore, having a complete and accessible review of key issues and ecologically important areas is vital. IUCN Oceania have been developing a process called Marine Spatial Planning, a tool that's designed around the philosophy of the community being at the centre of the conservation effort.
The MSP is sort of a political process, which means we first need to ensure that the governments are on board with this before we begin. And what it does is it brings to the table people from all over the country, everyone who is involved in the ocean space, everyone who is involved in the region where we are going to be creating marine protected areas using the MSP. So IUCN's 10-step process is basically our guiding Bible that we use at the moment to conduct this. And what it is basically looking into layering your spatial and your temporal data onto maps. And what that allows us to do is it allows us to see where are the key biodiversity areas, where are the spawning grounds, where is the highest vessel traffic areas. And then we have community engagement, which comes into play.
While the process doesn't focus specifically on species data, such as sharks, it looks to conserve the habitat, the place that they call home.
You know how you go to safari and you're like in Africa and you do safari, the jaguar needs the jungle in order to survive. In order for the sharks, for them to survive, we need to protect the coral reefs and the ecosystems within which they live.
Due to the importance of community and culture in the Pacific Islands, the idea of community-driven conservation through inclusion of local voices is integral to the solution. This is where the marine spatial planning comes into play.
So yeah, the people of the Pacific have always had a very strong connection to the oceans, and they're very passionate about ensuring that it is protected. So one of the things that we do as part of our work is when we go about starting the initial creation of a map, when we're trying to identify which areas we could potentially have an MPA in, one of the first things that happens through the help of the provincial offices is that they sit with the communities in the area and they map out where are because there are some locally managed areas, some informal MPA areas as well. So what they do is they sit together with the community and they on a map they actually sort of mark out where are the existing MPAs, what are their current fishing grounds, is there anything within their fishing grounds that within the ocean space that they have allocated to them that they would like to protect, or is there some part of the MPA that they would like opened. So they sort of this sort of bottom-up approach ensures that their perspectives, what they want, is also taken into account, and that is sort of what starts this process in the first place. So this sort of ensures that the community is at the forefront of this, because they are the custodians of the ocean in the Pacific. Yeah.
The maps that the Marine Spatial Planning tool produces are key in helping bridge the data gap, as it can map out and help identify areas that need researching to better understand how they can be protected. While IUCN are taking a national approach to conserve the Pacific coastal areas, local Fijian communities and organisations like Shark Lab, run from Benga adventure divers, have been working towards protecting and conserving marine ecosystems in their local areas.
Being part of Benga Adventure Divers, we're actually what you call a conservation group running a dive shop. So like our main mission is the protection, research and protection of Fiji's shark and ray populations, but with that, their essential habitats. So for about 20 some odd years, we've been partnering with the local community and the government, to kind of advance our shared objective in that. The first and foremost, which is like our claim to fame, if you will, was the creation of the Shark Reef Marine Reserve. So it was Fiji's first national marine park. And it's a shark sanctuary fully dedicated to research and protection of shark populations. And so we started off with baseline research and looking at movement and ecology, of the bull sharks, and also looking to see whether or not having protections in place would actually safeguard, and protect biodiversity and allow it to thrive. And so we did like initial baseline surveys to show that over the course of 10, 15 years, we've gone from like 150 species of fish to 500, and from seeing like several, maybe 5 or 6 bull sharks on a single dive to seeing almost 100 in the peak season.
True to the Fijian way, during the process of creating the marine protected area, Shark Lab consulted and worked closely with local coastal owners of the marine reserve.